Hi Libra, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your next 4 months predictions tarot reading. This is a reading for all Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Thanks to everybody for all the support. I'm excited to do this reading. We will go through the months of September all the way through the end of the year, but I do pick up energies leading into 2024, and I'll share those with you when they come in. I always appreciate it too when people hit the like button, especially on this reading, because I don't do it often, and it just helps something in the algorithm so that people will see the reading. And as you may have read in a lot of the comments, it just seems like tarot readers are getting into a funny spot on YouTube, so where it just feels a bit discriminatory. Okay, I watch some other channels too, and some of the things on those channels, it's pretty remarkable. We don't even come close. But anyway, if you're new here, welcome. I post new readings on Friday, then again on Monday. Fridays are always a general reading. Those will hit on all areas of life. Mondays are a different style every week. So like I mentioned, I only do this reading 2 times a year. So next week will definitely be something different on Monday. If you like tarot and you like the channel, I'd love to invite you to subscribe to Higher Source Tarot. What advice do you have for Libra? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What does Libra need to know, please, for the best and highest good of all involved with Libra? Messages for Libra, please. All right. So I think I said we'll go month by month here. Then we'll have 2 oracle card readings at the end, one for money and one for love. So 3 readings for the price of 1, which is the cost of nothing. All right. So we've got September, Queen of Pentacles, Hierophant, 5 of Pentacles, and the Star. I haven't seen the Star yet this time around. You've got into October, the 3 of Cups, the World, the 5 of Wands, interesting, and the Page of Cups, that you have 2 5s together there. November, we've got the 7 of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune. It's so interesting that we keep getting this row of major arcana. You've got the 6 of Swords, 9 of Wands, and then into December, we've got the Devil, the Page of Swords, the High Priestess, and the 3 of Pentacles. I felt like that 3 of Pentacles was going to be involved here. Okay, so I take the bottom cards, and then we'll utilize these in conjunction month by month. We've got 2 knights here. Knights come of service, and these knights want to go fast. These knights do not like to wait around. So I do feel like they're kind of polarizing with that 4 of Cups. So if there's been sort of an energy around you, whether it's you or somebody else, of indecision, I feel like the universe is like stomping on the gas pedal. Now I laughed a little bit because there's no nudity in any of these cards, but I mentioned before, tarot readers keep getting boxed up. I finally put something over the Devil's sexy chest because they kept flagging that, and then they correct it. But I just thought, let's quit doing this cat and mouse game. I'll just give them a little something there. But it just cracks me up. So when I saw it, I just started laughing because I haven't had them come out in any other readings. Anyway, okay. So let's begin here with the energy in September. You got this Queen of Pentacles. Now, before I go too far, you've got Capricorn, Aquarius. We've got Scorpio, Leo, Taurus is here. We have 6 major arcana. Okay, so that's important. When it's every month, you've got a major arcana showing up. Arcana comes from arcanum, mysteries or secrets in Latin. So I do feel like information is going to be revealed, but I also feel like there's sort of a weight lifted off of your shoulders. Now with this Queen of Pentacles energy, somebody here may have a turn of events. I get it with a partnership, and it really brings in stability into your life. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is a partner for life, but I feel like you may have a friendship. You may have somebody here who is really dependent on you, or maybe you have grown kids and you've been an empty nester and they're just kind of not ready for you to move on. Because I feel like with that 5 of Pentacles, it brings in a sense of sadness. And I don't feel like it's you, Libra. I feel like it's somebody around you. You're embodying more like this type of energy, wish fulfillment. You've got, of course, the Hierophant is all about unity and devotion. This is a fabulous energy in September, and I feel like you're going to be living this. You are in this, okay? So I do feel like it's more somebody around you. Now, if you do leave to go to another job, that 5 of Pentacles are the people that you don't work with anymore. Wherever you leave, you're going to be missed. There's no doubt about it. And if you do move on into a new relationship, although you do have a return of the ex option in October, I'm just going to tell you that. But it's in October pretty solidly. It doesn't mean it has to be, but I'm just telling you. So with this, with this Queen of Pentacles, though, even bringing in a new relationship, it may be also that ex. And even if you're in a new relationship, they may still pop back up. I do get that. So I feel like with this Queen of Pentacles, even though it's not your element, okay, it's earth, and you might have a lot of earth in your chart, that could be too, but this is about feeling good, looking good. She spins straw to gold. So any financial decisions, if you decide even to leave a gym because you say, well, there's a new one over here and it's better maintained and it's this and it's that and the hours work better, or whatever it is, I still feel like anything you leave, you're going to leave a little wake behind you, and somebody around you is just going to feel it. And you know what? You got to live your own life. I mean, they could always make changes too, especially if it's something of that nature. So with the Hierophant energy, be still and no shows up. This is kind of interesting because I almost feel like he's directing it at these two. Okay, it's like, just cool your jets a minute. You know, he's sort of in that energy of knowing. It's a secret force called forth. So for some of you too, like I said, you're on your own path. You're going in your own direction. And this is a card too of higher education, of teaching, learning, mentoring. So you may find too, if you are in a job change, if you do something even in HR, or something where you have people around you that you need to train or teach, you may have two knights who come in and they're rather excited, but I do feel like you might kind of tamp them down a little bit. You might say, hey, okay, let's get organized. Let's get centered. That's sort of what the Hierophant is doing. Now, in terms of relationships too, though, if you do have a knight who comes back around, who's kind of been in and out, with the Hierophant energy, especially with the star, whoever it is that you're really attracting is love. All right, the numbers 3, 7, 12, but especially 7 are important. We're also into 7 minutes in the reading, so 777 is what I get. Victory, success, triumph. But I do feel like with this, there's something very soothing about it. There's that inner knowing that's going to be so important. So I do feel like in a relationship, you're attracting a soulmate, and you're attracting somebody who has that high moral ground comes in here, that highly integrous energy. But it's somebody who's very caring. They care deeply about relationships, about, society, about animals, all that sort of stuff. This is the kind of person who is just the one you want in your corner. This is somebody who will be there. They will be there, and they will not just say it. If you're selling your house and you need help painting, this is somebody who actually comes in and helps. This is not the friend that you help them and they're nowhere to be found when it's your time, okay? Because I do get that for somebody, like that actual situation with the painting. But either way with this, it's beauty, it's harmony, it's reciprocal. And with the these two devotees, they wear the Garden of the Magician on their robes. I get this energy of manifesting. So whoever it is that you have coming in, look, they've manifested you too. You're in the same frequency. You have to meet up. It's the spiritual law. And so whatever this 5 of Pentacles is, you have those 2 5s that came in. I do feel like into November, things are moving forward though. I know it seems like, God, all from September. I feel like for you, this is somewhat inconsequential. It's more like you moving on, and it's just those shifts that we experience in life where you go, God, we're not going to see each other every day. But I feel like you have more to look forward to, that it doesn't bother you as much as whoever it is not making the shift with you. So even if it's a gym or something like that, your old gym buddies may miss you, that sort of thing, or a meditation group or a book study club or a small group, whatever it is that you're a part of, I just feel this sort of energy. Now with the star energy too, I will say this, if you say I'm not included in any of that and it's actually me, well, guess what? If you long to be included, here you go, because you have great companionship coming in. Now, this is a card that tells you that what you want is on the way. It's a very important card. So those of you that have been sort of 4 of Cups-ing life, like, yeah, the guy at the mini golf flirted with me, or the woman at the bank flirted with me, and I don't want them, that sort of thing. Look, it's the universe saying you've got it going on and people are noticing, but with the star showing up, the one is here. So allow those offers to come in. I mean, it doesn't mean you need to go out with them. I don't mean it like that. I just mean, acknowledge that the universe sees that you have a desire, sees that if it's a job change too. I'm telling you, this 4 of Cups, with October, you've got the Three of Cups celebration. This is going to be such a great month. Now, for some of you, you do have a completion of a cycle here. That's what this indicates. So if it is somebody from the past that you've been on the outs with, I do feel like you're going to have them come back around. I just feel like in some capacity. But even if it's an ex relationship and you don't want them, you're going to be in a better place than before October. Okay, so even if it's like, you know, I'm not going back to that, I'm just not going to, that's okay. I would never tell anyone you should or shouldn't, because you have to use your own free will. We have the cards as guidance, but we ultimately have to make our own decisions. So I do feel like it represents, it's like whoever this is, they're representing. And I do feel like with the Five of Wands, that's a piece of it too. It's like it's showing that there's some resolution to a conflict. So the Three of Cups is a blast. I mean, there's no downside to this. It's appreciation, it's partying, it's celebrating. It's something to celebrate is here. So those of you too, if you have some kind of, because that gym thing keeps coming up, if you have some kind of a weight loss goal or something like this, that may be in October where you kind of hit that stride and say, oh my God, I did it. Or if you set some kind of a personal record of some sort, it's like that kind of energy where you say, I've done it. And so I do feel like with this, so those of you that have felt a little isolated, this is a great month for socializing. If you start getting invited to stuff, even if you don't feel like doing it, you may find you just say, you know what, I'm doing it anyway. I'm just going to get out there. I'm just going to go out and see, even if I don't want to go to this, you know, live poetry reading or whatever it is, you know, those kinds of things where it's like, I get invited to stuff like that too. And I don't always go, but I go to a lot of other things. So with the world energy, nothing's better than the world. I love it that you have the wheel, the star, and the world together. Nothing sweeter, I feel. This is reaching all of your achievements. It really is the thing that you wanted is here. This can be a move too, by the way. So if you are moving, October is a great month for a move, and it's going to be everything you'd hoped for. Okay, this is having all your dreams come true. There's no downside. You have dancing here a couple of times. So if you're into something to do with dance or you just like to dance, October, there's this celebration and dancing is all over the month. So don't be surprised if the next thing you know, you hate country music and you get invited out to line dancing and there you are. You know, that sort of thing. But I will say, with the energy of the world, it's also an internal celebration. It's an internal achievement, a victory, a success. And it's all related to the inside of this wreath, okay? They're trying to tell you new doors are about to open for you, Libra. And internally, inside of this is a portal to the divine. You have it here too. So I feel like they're telling you meditate, quiet the mind. Now, if you're into spiritual teachings, I do feel like somebody has an opportunity to go to some kind of live workshop. And so I feel like that may be a piece of it too. It might not happen until November though. But like I said before, with this Five of Wands, if you've got a little bit of unfinished emotional business, we're going to get it taken care of here. And I do feel like it lifts a burden off of you. Those of you that say, oh yeah, when I see the person in Publix, I hunker down and try to avoid running into them, or I quickly go to the checkout so I can get out of there. I do feel like with this is going to resolve it. Fives are about change. And so we want to go with them. As Carl Jung said, what we resist persists. And so with this, you're somehow connected to it energetically, or it wouldn't keep popping back up. So I feel like too, it may be, especially with the world and the wheel here, it may be also an evolution of your own energy, because the world is the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. And it feels like freedom. It feels like bliss. It's like being on top of the world. So I do feel like you may have a change of perspective. I also feel like too, though, you might have somebody who comes back around with an apology. And this is sincere. This is not somebody who plays games. So if the Four of Cups energy, like they've tried to apologize before, and you go, I don't want their perfunctory I'm sorries, I'm just not interested in it. There may be more to this time. It may be the time when they say, I knew what I was doing was going to hurt you. I knew that it would, and I did it anyway. And I so deeply regret that. I just feel like it's more on that level where it's something meaningful when you go, that I could listen to, that I could try to understand. But the I'm sorry you did this and caused me, we're shaking our head no on that. So I do feel like with that Page of Cups, you got I feel like a new relationship here, even if it's out of the old. We can make new from the old. The tarot says it all the time. So with this Page of Cups, though, it is law of attraction energy, and it's attracting people who are understanding. It's attracting people who bring hope into your life, who bring joy into your life, and who bring understanding into your world. It's great energy. So in the month of November, you may be having something here where you're pressing forward. The Seven of Wands is about victory, success, but it's saying you might experience some little speed bumps along the way. And as we always say, we don't turn the whole car around. We just slow down, we navigate, we go forward. And with the Seven of Wands, it's nothing major. You have it moving forward. You have an interesting month in November because it's like there's some effort, but Wands are about expansion and growth. And I also feel like, too, with these two, can I fit them all in here? With these Knights, too, it's like this energy of I'm moving forward no matter what. So I do want to say with this Seven of Wands and the Knight of Wands, this is where you take action. And I do feel like you may be quick to resolve any issues. So if there is some kind of a problem with a move, if you're making a physical move, it's like you're going to see it coming and be able to pivot very quickly. And even if it's something too with a job, if you have seasonal bursts of, increased work, I just feel like you're going to be able to handle it with that Knight of Wands, Seven of Wands. This gets the job done and it gets it done fast. So I feel like with this, it's actually working for you. So I mentioned before with the wheel, you may end up having an unexpected shift. It comes in right here. So if you do get a bit burdened down with that Nine of Wands, I don't know, you may be finding you're making a change and that Nine of Wands is a bit of an influence because it's like, okay, I decided to move across the country. I wasn't seeing that coming, but it was my heart's desire because it's been building for several months now, and the next thing you know, there you are. That's the kind of stuff the wheel will do in your life where it's all of a sudden. So hang on to your hats. You might want to put a little note in your phone that November could be an auspicious and a very interesting month for you. But with this, again, it's like ascending energies. It's rising to the top. It's promotion. It's gains. It's always the wheel of fortune, not the wheel of misfortune. This is when cool stuff happens. So we want to embrace this wheel. If it was me, I'd grab onto the back of that Sphinx and hang on for dear life, saying, don't drop me. I need to come with you. I will tell you, though, too, speaking of that, this is telling you when to let go, too, and when to hang on. So those of you that need to move on, well, you're going to, especially with the Six of Swords. It may be an emotional kind of a bittersweet ending. You have it a couple of times here, but I don't feel like it's anything that's, horrifically negative. It's more like just these are the seasons of our lives. These are the days of our lives, like sands through the hourglass, right? But with this, you do move on. So if you meet somebody too, there may be a relocation in order for the two of you. There may be something about that. And it's like, I feel like people around you are happy for you, but kind of sad for themselves. I just keep picking up on that. So the Nine of Wands says, hey, you're going to do it. You're going to give it your all. Don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle happens. But this is all about realizations and accomplishments. So if you do have some kind of a project, or even I'll liken this to myself with all the ups and downs with YouTube, I still love YouTube. I just want to understand it better. I kind of get that, like, hey, I'm not giving up on this. I just need to see it through and figure it out a little bit. So I do feel like if you have a project, you're going to give it what you need to, and it's going to, what I feel like is it's going to leave you in a better spot. So December, we kick off, which is interesting, because we get into Capricorn season in December. So there may be something about this, but I also feel like too, if you have somebody in your midst who you don't fully trust, because you have the Page of Swords and the High Priestess here, you may have information about them that comes out, like even something where somebody's had an addiction around you and they've really kind of been a Knight of Wands. They might have even been a Knight of Swords too, kind of aggressive, irritable, unpredictable. I get this around you. So if you have this already, you may also have somebody around you who gets sober, okay? There may be something about that. But I do feel like it's going to come out, okay? If they've struggled in some way, this can be a card too of slander. So it can also be people talking about you now, or about people around you. It could be even somebody around you. But I want to say with the Page of Swords, that's also the internet spy. So I feel like information could come out. But I would say too, be very careful with this because you don't want to engage in this. You don't want to have these two join up and you're the Page of Swords interacting with the devil. That could put you in a place where things are taken out of context and it's just not a good thing to do. So this is again where the tarot is your best friend who tells you the truth. You want to be more like this. Okay, the High Priestess is the card of the psychic, but it's also the card of analysis. So you look at everything, you take everything in. It's law of attraction energy. It's also, too, a new cycle that brings you into flow. So her gown, I always point this out, turns into the pool of consciousness here. So I do feel like they're trying to tell you you're going to have gains here. And it feels like it goes all the way into 2024. So especially, too, ending with these two and this Three of Pentacles, harmony, success, new doors opening. This also can be a move or moving in together, but it's long term and it's also working great together. So I will tell you, let's see now what the Fortune Oracle has to say here about money. What else does Libra need to know about money and finance to attract financial abundance? Well, you've got transformation. This is a good one. Reach out for the power and the strength to make changes, enrich your life, and become the person you want to be. So again, with or without you, maybe the theme of that one. There are this is Owl, by the way. There are spiritual messages and great wisdom to be found during this period of transition. So I do feel like it came in right at the beginning that you're going to be moving on to something better. You have beware. Now be careful who you trust at this time. There aren't very many warning cards in this deck, so that devil energy may be related to this. And as you make a transformation or a transition, sometimes we don't always advertise that, do we? And that's okay. Now let's hear from the Whispers of Love about love. What else does Libra need to know about love, please? Advice for Libra about love. Speak the language of love. Loving words have the power to change lives, including your own. So there may be something to that with the endings around you. Love who you are. You are divine, delightful, and deserving of the wonderful things life has to offer. Of course you are, because you are the energy of love. And you have forgiveness. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. So for somebody here too, that let go to receive, that old ancient paradox, that's all about that. So good things are on the way for you, Libra. I love you, and I'll be back again soon.